And we have returned.
Back, bitches. Let's do this. Some audiences like being insulted. I hope mine does. Otherwise, I'm probably going to lose, like, all my subscribers. Alright, we're on the play. We get to play on the play. We're going to choose to be on the play. Okay, so this hand is interesting. So we have no white and a bunch of white spells. But we can play these two. This lets us draw cards. So, what would you do just with that information?
I think that you need to establish those lands before you do anything, right? So that's what I would probably do, is play that land, and then, well, since you just said that we don't have anything other than the black card there, I'd probably play that black card that then lets us draw more cards, right?
Well, you did just describe exactly what I would do. But my actual what I meant was, would you keep this hand?
Would I keep that?
Yeah, or would you try to get a better 6-card hand?
I mean, I guess that's pretty... I would imagine it's pretty helpful to have that card that lets you draw shit.
Yeah, drawing cards is good.
And also, you have, like, the land to fuel that, I'm imagining. So I'd probably stick with it.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep it because sometimes I like to just not draw lands and die. But... And again, this card's 2 white, but it's not really meant to be cast necessarily on turn 5. I mean, it can be, but it also could just be cast later. So our opponent mulliganed, and nice little thing over here is the chat box gives us information like what they do. So like when you mulligan, you get a scry, which means you get to look at the top card of your deck and decide, do I want to draw this next turn, or do I want to put it at the bottom of my deck? Which is very helpful, but this helps us to see what they decide to do with it. So they kept it on top, which means that's obviously a card they want.
Yeah, so they're going to come out of the gate, like, pretty strong.
Yeah, so it's a chance that mulliganing to 6 doesn't matter for them. Now, of course, this line comes into play tapped no matter what, so we're going to play it first. All right. Well, we drew another double white spell, which that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. But hey, like I said, I like to... Oh, Jesus.
Fucking hell.
I like to not draw lands and die. So...
God damn.
I literally said I like to draw lands, or not draw lands and die sometimes, and we're just never going to draw our white source and die. But
Son
you know
of a
what?
bitch.
There are worse ways to go out.
It's really stacking you with these white
Yeah,
cards.
we're just drawing all of our white spells. That's exactly where we wanted to be. Maybe we should have had more white sources because we have a lot of double white spells.
Oh no.
And again, we drew another black land, so you know. Joke's on me.
Fuck.
Like I said, never draw a white land and die. Well, I did say never draw land and die, but, you know. Who sees... Oh, God, we're just going to die. Yep, do your thingy. Let's put this into play. Oh, ho, ho. Yeah, ours doesn't beat that. Well, at least we drew something that we have the colors to play. So this thing has an ability called Shroud, which means it can't be targeted by abilities or spells.
Okay.
So it's very hard to deal with. It is a 7/11. It's going to deal us a lot of damage. We do have a 5/5 that gains us life, which is really nice, and it makes this going to be probably not the worst race. But we have one of the only removal spells in the game that actually can get rid of this.
Nice. Okay.
Because this doesn't target it, we vote on what gets destroyed, which is also a very unique way of picking how something dies. It's not one that's normally used, but it's just like a mechanic that was chosen for that set.
I see.
So. So if we ever do get the double white, we can get rid of it. Of course, that's 2 white lands away. So.
Man, it looks like you're pretty stacked on health.
Yeah, well, that's the nice thing. Lifelink means we gain life, how much damage it deals. And she's a 5/5, so she deals 5 damage.
Nice.
And this is a 7/11, which means it deals a lot of damage too. But we can kind of recoup most of it with her attacks. Well, so this card's actually pretty good because it says discard 2 cards, then draw up to that many cards. Or up to 2 cards and then draw that many cards. So that means we can start getting rid of some of these lesser playable white cards to try and draw some white lands.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm going to do first is I am going to actually attack first. So, interesting enough here, I'm pretty sure, I'm not actually trying to do math, but I'm pretty sure we can win the race because they're dead in 2 turns and we're dead in 3 turns.
Nice. Okay.
So, of course, this is probably going to get countered, but that's not the end of the world because, again, like I said, we just have them dead. Oh, it doesn't get countered. Okay. Because we do just have them dead in... Ooh, we drew a white land. Nice. That's very important. So now we're only one light... English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? We drew 1 white land, which means we're 1 away from casting this. So as it turns out, 5/5 Angel is okay against a 7/11 that we can't do anything about.
Damn.
But okay, so my original train of thought was drawing the white source is nice because this deals 3 damage and gains us 3 life. Which, while it doesn't shorten the clock any, it makes it harder for them to kill us. Plus, we could also choose to kill something like this that could pose as some kind of a threat. And they're actually giving us more turn time because they're going to kill our Planeswalker. Wait, what's your second ability? Oh. Alright, so that's another good one, but I think what we're just going to do is go... Play you. Become a copy of that. And attack for 5. So, also that being said, we can still play this next turn because we have a red and a white man up. But this being able to become a copy of this means not only can they not really attack with us next turn, but next turn when we, if they try to attack or something, we can attack back with it. And it on its own is able to kill them as well, which means they have 2 very difficult to deal with creatures. Oh, actually, I'm dumb. I forgot rules. This card has Island Walk as well, which means it can't be blocked if your opponent has an island, and they have an island. So while we don't have an island, we can block theirs.
Okay.
But they have an island, which means they can't block us. So, ours actually on its own is lethal next turn.
Nice.
Not to mention, so is she. And we won game 1.
Nice.
Alright, so that went extremely well despite not drawing white for literally what felt like forever. And joke's on us because we're going to draw another black land. A lot more black lands. At least we're going to draw a big black creature. That makes a lot of zombies. Alright, so I am going to absolutely cut one of these, I think a mountain for a plains because we clearly didn't draw any. 4's probably okay. I don't know. We do have a lot of double. We have a lot of double everythings though. Whatever. You know what? I'm gonna take out a swamp. We have this that turns all of our other lands into swamps too. So if we draw this one, we have a bunch of swamps. Whatever. We'll risk it. Other than that, I don't think there's anything really in our sideboard we want to bring in. Yeah, I don't... Oh, I guess because they have that show and tell card to put a creature in to play, we could bring our own gigantic creature and not intend to cast it, but hope we have it in our hand when they try to put something into play. So that's something we could do. That might actually just be better than drawing a bunch of cards. So maybe we'll try that. Now watch us die because we have this in our hand the whole time and can't play it. Of course, since I said the same thing about the white spells,
Right.
which, speaking of white... But... Alright, so we're on the draw. This hand allows us to play color-wise everything in our hand. So, I think it's fine keeping. It's a little bit more lands than I'd like, but, you know, it seems like it'll be pretty good.
Just overly set up, basically.
Yeah. Which, I mean, can be fine because we do obviously want to draw 7 lands to play this card. But, the thing is we can play both these removal spells, and these are really good against most of what they're going to try to do. They also scryed and mulligan to 6 cards again and scryed to the top again. So, alright, we drew a mountain, so we have all of our colors. We just need one more mountain to be able to cast everything in our deck, basically.
Nice.
Alright, so we drew a really good card that's 5 mana. We have 5 lands, so we're pretty close already. Well, they're show and telling. Guess we'll put that into play.
What's that mean?
Alright, so this lets them put a card from their hand into play. This thing, when it comes into play, destroys a non-land permanent. So it got rid of our swamp.
Shit.
But because it's a 4/4, they can't attack through this. Although, really, a turn late. Look at that. And they only have one of those in their deck, so that sucks. But so if they attack, we get a block and kill it, which it does have an ability that lets it come back. So there is the possibility that they're going to attack and we're not going to want to block it because then it can kill another one of our lands. And then we'll be out of black sources, which would be bad. But if we exile it, it doesn't get to come back. So next turn we can actually just exile it and it'll be gone for good.
So that'd be the smart move.
Yeah, so if they attack next turn, we're just going to take it. For the same argument, we're not going to attack ourselves because we don't want to lose another land.
Makes sense.
And it's very reasonable for them. Oh god, that kind of sucks. So that gets to get rid of our creature, which means this is going to become a 6/6 again.
Shit.
But that's okay. We're going to take one big hit and then again next turn be able to get rid of it. So, and again, that sucks. And yes, this card can get rid of this one. But again, if we try to destroy this in a different way, we're just going to lose all of our lands and be put so far behind, it'll be hard to win.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we drew a Lightning Helix, which is kind of okay, I guess. Doesn't really make a difference here. You know what? No, we're not going to do this yet. So, instant speed cards mean we can play them whenever. And typically, it's usually better to play those during your opponent's turn. Which I guess actually because they have blue mana, so they could have counter spells, I probably should play it now. But that's another important thing is deciding, is it better to play it during my turn or my opponent's turn, even though I can play it during theirs? And the choice isn't always play it during theirs.
Right.
Sometimes it is better to play it during your turn. Like right there, because they have blue mana, and that's very important that we get rid of that creature. I didn't want for them to be able to counter our card, so I value it more to play it during our turn than to wait till theirs.
Right.
Alright, so we drew another land. Which, thanks to this card, all these lands can produce black, so we can still cast this one. And this one we need 11 mana to cast it, so we're a very long ways away from that. But we knew that when we brought it in, because we wanted to bring it in to put it in play. But, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you draw it right after that.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it feels pretty bad when that happens, so, you know. Alright, so they did nothing. Alright, so this is a land that gives us our second red source, so we could play it this turn in case we draw a double red card next turn. But I'd rather just play this turn, and this comes into play tap, so we can do both. So, play it for 5, hope they don't counter it. If they do counter it, it'll be awkward. So Living Weapon is a unique ability of certain artifacts that means they come into play and create a creature that they get to equip to.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
So, and of course, artifacts are basically like swords, weapons, things like that, or they could be other things too, but mostly that's what they're... Oh, that sucks. Well, he got to destroy it, so that, you know, feels pretty bad, but...
Fuck.
On the bright side, it costs 10 mana now. So we're almost there.
Nice.
So But yeah, what I was saying is most artifacts you have to pay to equip them. But with this one, it comes into play with already something equipped to it, so you don't have to pay that cost. So that's a pretty big benefit to it. Alright, so we're just going to kill this. This Lightning Helix isn't going to do much else. So this will gain us some life and get rid of their only creature they have. Alright, so we drew another creature, which is great. Oh, I need one more, I guess. Now, this creature has an ability that lets us choose to either make it stronger, or make tokens. And because I feel like it's probably going to die, I'm going to make tokens so we have more things on the battlefield.
Alright.
But sometimes, if I don't think it's going to die, like I think it's going to live, it's just better to make it bigger itself. Of course, then I could be wrong. Which, as I said earlier tonight, I'm never wrong. So you cost still 10 mana, and we have 6, 7, 8. So we're almost there. We almost can cast this thing. Oh. Alright, so we're just going to attack them for a lot here. Hope they don't kill our stuff. Oh, they're going to put our land at the bottom of our library. Okay. Still take a pretty big hit here. And we don't have anything else to do this turn, so we'll pass. Alright, well that sucks. I guess it doesn't really matter. That, on the other hand, is a really good one.
Man, quite the recovery.
Yeah, we have gone from looking very bad to being in actually pretty good shape. And I don't think we have anything else in our deck that lets us destroy enchantments, but if we did, we'd be in super great shape. Because if they hadn't gotten our creature off the board, they'd already probably be, if not dead, they'd be pretty close. Alright, so they didn't play anything, so we're just going to attack them for a lot here.
Fuck 'em.
So, oh no, they're doing things. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, okay, they're killing their own thing to create a blocker. But we're going to actually kill that creature. Because we haven't found a use for this card otherwise. Which will feel pretty bad if they give us something next turn. Oh, they have no cards in hand. So they're just 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're just pretty close to dead here. What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Paco. Talking in his sleep. Damn dog scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I was like...
What is that? Who's in the room with us?
Nice.
Well, we got the win.
Holy shit, dude.
So
Man.
we drafted a weird pile of cards that neither of us knew what was what, and we won already. That was good. Well,
Do you get to play a third game? Or?
well, so this game's over. We have 2 more matches, though, afterwards.
Okay, cool.
So I'll play the other 2 matches, probably record them. Nothing else. The point is, the stipulation was awesome. We got to draft a pretty cool deck. And it was fun. It was fun picking cards that we didn't really know what the other was picking. At least I felt it was fun.
I did actually too, because I I don't know. It just feels like I had a bigger contribution a little bit, so it feels cool. And also, it seemed to work out pretty well. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
And surprisingly, we drew the same, basically similar enough cards that we could play a deck with. So
Yeah.
all right, guys, that's gonna be the end for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Awesome.